Okay, in about 3 minutes we'll be getting started. If you have any questions that you would like to get queued up ready and you are in the Zoom webinar, you can use the Zoom question and answer function to do that. We are live streaming today to YouTube. If you are in YouTube, then you won't be able to see the question and answer function because that's in Zoom, but you can head over to aiapp.builders/events and register for the Zoom call and then join us on Zoom if you do have questions you'd like to ask, or comment in the video and I will read them after the webinar and answer them next time. So we'll be starting in just over 2.5 minutes. All right, let's get started. It is Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. And this is Marc P. Summers, famous AI expert, and I will be with you for the next hour, answering your questions and hopefully pushing you forward in your projects that you have. Today, hey Reggie, nice to see you. Hey, fireflies and bubbles and so forth. My goodness. Let me just get rid of these guys because I don't want you here. Real people only. I only like real people. If you do want to record this, it will be in my YouTube channel. It's actually being streamed live in YouTube, so you don't need to send all of your fireflies and otters and bubbles and whatever else everything is in YouTube and available to you there, and just recording and having loads and loads of video that you're never going to use is not going to be beneficial to you. So let's get started. Simple rules, no self-promotion in the chat. If you have any questions, please use the Zoom question and answer function. And if you are watching on YouTube, you will not be able to use the question and answer function because it's not there in YouTube, and I won't be following the the chat in Zoom, because there's far too many things to follow at the same time. And so if you want to ask questions, go to aiapp.builder/events, register for the actual Zoom webinar, and come and join us on Zoom. And then you can watch the replay later on YouTube. It will be there instantly after the webinar finishes. Which is why I broadcast live on YouTube, because it means that I don't have to download the video and then upload it again. It's there automatically, which is pretty cool. So let me just see if I can get rid of this guy here. No, I don't want to log in. No, I can't get rid of you. Okay, all right. So, questions, where are they? Do you have any questions for me? I am ready and waiting. I don't see any just yet, but while we're waiting for those, let me get started with just some heads up on what I've been doing. So, well, I would if my screen loaded. Here we go. Let's get rid of this. So nothing really much has happened as far as Famous is concerned. No real new features, etc. One thing that I have been having people query is about billing. Now, I'm not only I'm not a Famous employee, so I can't really help with billing direct questions. But I can tell you, to get to your invoices, if you go to the billing tab in your dashboard and scroll all the way to the bottom, there's this little link here that says view invoices and change your payment method. I'm not going to click it because you guys don't need to see my invoice, but it will show you all the different things that you're being billed for through the Deal Eco, or the Famous Labs, I guess they're called now, ecosystem. I'm not screen sharing, no. Now I am. So let me show you that one more time. So from the dashboard, you're going to go to billing, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then when you get to the bottom, you can click on view invoices and payment methods. The link to the backend hosting, Brian, I am sure that Janelle will magically make that appear. There she is. There we go. That's my hosting service. I did actually just make some changes to the the page today for the hosting. Everything else is still the same, but this allows you to publish your apps if you want to have that on an external host without having to learn all the things you need to learn about React servers and so forth. Okay, let's go back to our projects and open up. Oh, I've got a question. I love it. Who sent me a question? Devon. I love you, Devon. Devon's always there with my question. If I actually finish my mobile app, I am contemplating turning it into a web app. Do you recommend using the same database, or should I clone the project or use the same project. So I would suggest that if it's a mobile companion, a web companion app to a mobile app, that you use the same project, but you have to be super careful. Let me show you my example of this. So I have my mobile app, which is the first thing I created in Famous, and it's the mobile app that goes with my, where's my face? There we go. Goes with my book, Tune In, the Relationship Equalizer, which is basically a training guide for my future wife on how we are going to have an amazing relationship. And so it's just a training manual for her wherever she may be, and then on top of that, I have a web companion app, which I need to find here. So we had this issue before where I had to, here, the web companion app is for that same app, and it uses the same database. And what this means is it allows that the login to be the same. So if I'm using the app on my cell phone, and then I'm going to my laptop, I don't have to have different accounts or whatever. And for some apps, that's really important. And for this app, it's very important because you don't want to have two different logins, because otherwise you'll miss it if someone sends you a message or a relationship update on the mobile, but you were on the desktop, you'd miss it if it was separate databases. So in the club, there is a snippet that kind of helps, or at least I thought there was. Convert app from web to mobile. Okay, so this one here, if you do a search for convert, it should come up. Convert, there we go. And I'll go through this prompt. I'm not going to do this live because this is kind of a big thing, but you'll get the picture. Now, for you, you've already created the mobile app, and so you're going to do this the other way around. But the methodology is the same, the process is the same, the due care and attention that you need when doing this is the same. The only thing that is different, I guess, would be the screenshots, and that is you're going to take screenshots of your current app, whether it's a web app or a mobile app. So if it's a web app, you're going to go into mobile view. So let's just say this app is a web app. We were going to want to turn this into a mobile app. You would go into mobile view and you would take screenshots. I'll make that a little bit smaller. You would take screenshots of each of the screens. So the splash screen, the login screen, and then when they were signed in, the slider screens, in my case, the dashboard screens, and so forth. So this screenshots are really important, and then you use this prompt, or in your case, a flip-flop version of this prompt, along with those screenshots, so it knows how to make that app exactly the same as exactly the same as the look and feel needs to be exactly the same. So let me go through this prompt one by one, and I'll talk, Devon, about which bits you're going to change because you're going the other direction. So I already have an app called name of the app. That's always going to be, don't put XXXXX, because that will not be good. And just for clarity, this is an initial prompt. This isn't a prompt that you're going to put into the mobile app. This is starting a new project prompt. Okay. And then when you're doing that, in fact, let's go back to Famous here. You'll make sure that if you're creating the web app for the mobile app, you have web app selected. And if you're creating a mobile app for the web app, you have mobile app selected down here. Let me make that bigger for you so that you can see it. So I'm talking about these bits here. So if you're creating a web app, make sure you've got this selected. And if you're, hold on, I can't work out spatial awareness here. And if you're, that's really weird because I need to point. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you get the picture. Actually, it'd be easier to point there. There we go. The mobile app or the, no, still can't do it, or the web app. Make sure those are selected correctly. Let's go back to the prompt here. That's exactly what I wanted. New project, same database. That's correct. That's exactly what you need. So I already have a web app called name of your app. I'm going to also create a mobile app. In your case, Devon. This will say I already have a mobile app called blah blah blah, and I'm also going to create a web app with exactly the same features. The web app will connect to the same Supabase database as the mobile app. Please create fresh code, this is really important, with the prefix web underscore for all pages and edge functions, and utilize the same tables that are in the Supabase database. I have attached screenshots of the mobile app in mobile view so that you can match the design in the web app. Okay? Please ensure you do not edit, and I would put this paragraph in capitals. Please ensure you do not edit the edge functions in the current Supabase database, and always create fresh edge functions that do the same thing, same things for the web. Okay. If you need to create extra columns in the tables, please be very clear what columns you are adding so that I can be sure the mobile app is not affected. Do not edit current edge functions. Now, this was created when you created an app in Famous and it used Supabase and you could connect your database straight away. Now things have changed in Famous, and what's going to happen is it's actually going to create all this stuff in Famous database first. And then you can actually check that the edge functions are called web underscore create subscription, web underscore search for something, whatever they may be. You can make sure that they're prefixed correctly, which is good. And then for the tables, you want to make sure that those tables are not conflicting with table names that have already been created. Then you would do the normal migration of the database. So you would then create that migration file, and that is also a prompt here. This one here, the 130/2026, is the only prompt I've been using to do a migration, and it works like a treat. And then we've got, please create a database migration plan, including the tables, RLS policies, etc. And then you're going to disconnect it and attach it to your new Supabase database. Now you need to be very careful, because now you're going to merge the data together to make sure that the web functions work. And so the step 2 of this will be very different. You'll need to make sure that all your functions have got that web underscore, which means they're not going to overwrite functions that are currently in the system. And then the tables, you'll want to make sure that the tables don't have the same table names as your other tables. Then you'll do the migration. So now it's connected to that same database. The auth functions are now the same database. And then once you've done that and you've tested login in the web, you'll then start fixing all the other functions. But in pretty much every prompt, you'll need to say, do not change any edge functions that don't start with web underscore, because they are being used by another app. And I'll make it clear, they are being used by another app. Put that in every single prompt. My screen is all blurry. Okay, let me do this and this and this, and then I'm gonna do, oh, that's because I'm not actually sharing my screen. How about that? Is that better? Anybody? Is my screen better? Perfect. Awesome. All right. So that answers Devon's question. If I lost everybody else during that, I apologize. I don't have a level for this webinar. This webinar was answering the questions that you bring to me. So if you bring to me a high-end technical question like that, I'm going to do my best to answer it. And I apologize if you're at a lower level and that went over your head. Stick with me. There will always be stuff that you need to know at whatever level you're at. All right. Anonymous attendee. Anonymous attendee. Really? Come on. This is a webinar to help you. Don't need anonymous questions. Anyway, I'll answer it just because you're the only one that bothered, other than Devon, to put a question in. So what's the difference in cost between using Stripe, or will we save by moving to Deal for accepting subscription payments and billing? You can't use Deal for subscription payments and billing. You can use Famous's payment profiles, but that is just using Stripe and connecting it through a gateway called Fast Router. And so it's the same system, it's the same prices. They're not charging any extra, or at least I don't believe they're charging any extra for transactions. But you can only set up a new account through Famous's payment gateway. You can't connect it to a current account. So what I do when I'm building is I tell Famous not to use Fast Router and to use Stripe Direct SDK and API so that we can ensure that it is correct. Any other particulars about changing to yours instead of Famous hosting that I need to know before building an app in Famous? Yes, you can't use any outdoor host, any non-Famous host if you're using Famous database, because when you're hosting outside, you need to be using Superbase or something like that. So definitely make sure that you're using Superbase. Devon says this is exactly what I wanted. New project. Yes, the screen. No, done all that. Yes. Can you put that prompt in chat? Which prompt, Brian? Can Famous be used to create an app that integrates with AI glasses, Meta Ray-Ban, etc.? Well, that's an interesting question because I've been looking at AI glasses, and Brian, all my prompts are in the club snippet library. So you can copy it down while it's on the screen, or you can join the club and go to the snippet library, and they're all there. Plus, every single decent prompt that I find that does things gets put in here. So it makes the $27 a month club membership well worth it. So you've got everything in here that you could ever think of, and whatever webinar I'm doing, if there's a good prompt, it gets put in here as a way to store it. Okay, back to the AI glasses. So yes, I have a, how much do I say here? I have a large court hearing coming up in March, and the court hearing's in Spain, and I am the main witness in this court hearing, and the issue is it's in Spain, which means it's all in Spanish. And so I've been researching AI glasses to see about their translation functions, to see whether I could wear AI glasses and see read what was going on in the court while the court hearing was going on. So that's the research that I've been doing with AI glasses. There are so many of them. You mentioned Meta Ray-Ban, but that's just one. There are probably about 15 AI glasses that are following my feeds and streams right now, because I started researching them and now everyone's telling me I need to buy theirs. For you to be able to write an app that integrates with Meta Ray-Ban or any of these others, all of them have their own SDK, software development kits, and they're all working very different. Some of them have displays, some of them don't have displays, and they and they just talk to you in your ear, or they only have a camera, and so there's so many different options. So yes, you could create one that can connect to an API or SDK, but you would need to basically have it so it was able to connect to multiple SDKs, software development kits, so that it could what am I talking about? So it could connect to that particular glasses. And I don't know whether the Meta Ray-Ban even has released their API. Introducing the Meta Wearables Device Access Toolkit. Developers can start accessing the camera and audio functionality. Well, and then the page doesn't work. So, oh no, now it's working. So yes, you could write an app that would integrate with this SDK, and then you would need to just have in the package.json file, you would need to have the SDK installed in your app. It's all promptable. You would just prompt it. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with the Meta Ray-Bans. They are slick, but my problem with the Meta Ray-Bans is the purple ones are not display, and I want the one with the display on, and they don't have them in nice sexy colors. Only the display comes in black or white, I think it is. And so I'm waiting for them to come out with more colors. I'm not sure what will come first. A decent AI pair of glasses in purple, or the court hearing. Who knows? We'll see. All right, let me just make sure I haven't missed any questions. Cindy. Hey, Cindy. Is there a way to have about 150 PDF booklets or flip books into a database in an app that makes each PDF accessible to each specific user to a specific booklet? Sorry, that sounds it does sound confusing. So there's 150 booklets, and each user basically has their own booklet, right? Okay. Yes, I mean the similar situation I just did for a really fun client I'm working with. Let me pull up his database here. And so this is a certification program, and you basically would put it into a storage bucket. So in here, where does it store it? No, not there, which is interesting. Documentation, site assets. That's very interesting. Basically, you would have a storage bucket, and I thought this was in here, but I can't find it right now. Lesson assets. You would have a storage bucket which was assigned to their user ID, like this storage bucket here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it. And then in that storage bucket would be their PDF file, and only they with that user ID would be able to get to that PDF file. So it's all promptable. You could even get the AI to create the document. So it would create the document, put it in their folder, and then only they would be able to access it. Very good for security because only their ID would be able to access it. Storage buckets are the way to go. And this particular app, we have a certificate process. And give me 1 second. So this creates, once you do the whole course, it creates a professional certificate. So I'm actually a certified cocktail maker now, which is pretty cool. I did have the answer sheet when I took the exam, but still, I have a certificate, so it must be true. And this certificate is produced by the app, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of that particular client's work. It's very cool. But the certificate is then created in into the storage bucket, so it can then be used again and again or downloaded. And once they finish the exam, they can't change the name, and so their certificate is solid. Long Island iced tea. Okay, well, you go to UK and you get some PG tips because that's the only tea you should be drinking. And then you boil a kettle and where is that? You boil a kettle and you put it over the PG tips and then let it cool and put your favorite alcohol on the top, and then take it to an island and walk from one side of the island to the other side of the island, and then you have a Long Island iced tea. Like I said, when I did the exam, I had the answer sheet. Is there a way to build apps in Deal AI ecosystem? No, there isn't. You can't use the API to build an app, and you can't really build apps or apps like we can in Famous in Deal. It's purely it's purely React apps are created in Famous, and then AI functional kind of web apps are created in Deal. But I wouldn't even create them in Deal now. I would create them in Famous because you've got much more power of outside APIs and the control of those APIs and everything else. I doubt there will be an API to create an app in Famous. Now you can create a white label of Famous, and so you have your own version of Famous. So for me, I have Zimboni.ai, which is this little purple robot guy, and this is effectively Famous but purple. and this is Symboni.ai. So, this is effectively using the API to create it in Famous, but it's just a white labeled version of Famous. So, so that's that. To answer your question, Devon, did I get Famous to create this certificate? No, where am I there? Where's my Superbase tab gone? Give me a second. Bring Superbase back up. All right, so in here, under storage and site assets, we have the background of the certificate, which is here. So I designed this. The background of the certificate was designed with ChatGPT, and then the logo, this logo was designed with Supercool, supercool.com. If you haven't used it, it's very good at creating logos. In fact, this logo was created by the client with Supercool, and he created it in green, and I told him it would look much better in purple. I was kind of joking. And he said, actually, I would like it to be purple, but I couldn't work out how to get it purple. And so I logged into his Supercool and gave Supercool one command to change it to purple. And it did a really good job. It's a dark purple, but it's still nice for this particular app. And it changed it really well. So then in Photoshop, I took the background that ChatGPT created. I put a transparent image of the logo in the background. I then asked the client to sign on a piece of paper their signature. This is his signature and his wife's signature. He then took a photograph of that. I put that back in Photoshop and took the backgrounds out, and then so that then goes into the certificate as a background, and then updates it from there. So it's simple. If you've got a little bit of Photoshop skills, you probably could do it all with Supercool from the outset. Just say, hey, I want a letter-sized certificate background, and then the app itself squishes the two together. All the information gets put over the top, and then it creates it as a PDF. So then you can download the PDF and print it or send it to a job application or whatever, telling them that you are a Mixmaster certified bar person. So there we are. That's that. All right, that's all my questions. Who else has questions for me? Or you can ask me anything, as long as it's kind of Famous related. And Mokoro, you need to upgrade your Otter. Michael, you need to upgrade your Otter too, because they're all leaving you. Bye, Otter. Good riddance. How does Famous compare to other AI prompting development tools? I am Famous-centric. I occasionally use Cursor, which is nowhere near as user-friendly or novice-friendly as Famous. It's more for coders. But everything I do is in Famous. I have used Lovable. I have used Replit. Had some good experiences with Lovable. In fact, Cindy, who asked that question earlier, has had some great experiences with Lovable. But pretty much I am Famous centric for two reasons. Since day one, it's got better and better and better, and that progress, fires my loyalty. Number two, it's very powerful in what you can do. The process is very easy to follow. and it gives me all the features that I need. And even with some of the niggle changes that's happened recently, I still am 98% using Famous for all of my projects. And the 2% are because Famous can't do the things that I'm doing in that 2%, not because I'm doing other things. So I hope that answers your question, Rich. That's all. Otter. Any other questions? Can you go over Deal, Famous, Super Cool, and how they fit together? Obviously, I'm new to this. If the question is no question is, Michelle, no question is too basic. Really, I'd like every single question, and I will answer every single question, whether it's basic or advanced. And if you've got a question that needs answering, you're probably not the only one that's got the question, but you're going to be the brave one that actually asks it. So, Deal is a group of tools that allows you to create spokesperson videos, graphics, marketing, social media, images, and so forth. And you can create chat bots and AEO funnels and things like that. It's a monthly subscription. You can also white label it. So I have Famous.AI, which is a white label version of Deal. So if you want to make money, I have clients that are going, well, how do I create this or how do I create that? And I just tell them I use Famous.AI. So anything I do in Deal, I tell them I use Famous.AI, which is effectively Deal, and that way I make a little bit of money on their subscription. It's exactly the same as Deal, just purple. Then supercool.com is I can't spell it. Supercool.com is a pretty impressive variant to ChatGPT. What it allows you to do, where's my mouse gone? What it allows you to do is create, thank you for the confetti, create business plans, basically get it to build you content, but processes and everything else. So you can ask it to write a book for you. You can, let me see what I've done recently. So here's a Jellycat cartoon strip that I asked it to create from one simple prompt. Please create a cartoon strip for Jellycat collectors. If you don't know what Jellycats are, they are a plushie that's made in London. Well, actually, I don't think they're made in London anymore. I think they're made in China, but they're based in London, and they're very collectible. And if you did come to my house, you may see a few thousand of the things all over the place. They're everywhere. This is Jack the Jellycat. He is he's the he's the logo of Jellycats. And so simple prompt. Can you create a cartoon strip? I didn't give it any other information, yet the image, the first image, is a very Jellycat style. Again, going back to that first bunny, it's a you can see it's a Jellycat. A Jellycat collector would see that was a cartoon version of a Jellycat. So it went off and it researched, what is a Jellycat? What would a collector do? And this whole cartoon here is a very collector meme kind of thing, because it's like there's a new Jellycat alert, and then the Jellycat collectors, I need it, of course, and then these are all Jellycats. They have octopuses, they have even avocados and so forth. I have a Jellycat here, which is a boiled egg with a piece of toast to dunk into it. I even have a Jellycat latte, because for those of you that know me, I'm not normally too far away from my Starbucks cup. And so then you've got this just one more, you know, as to say, if you came to my house, I'm surrounded by thousands of these things. And so this is basically me and a pile of Jellycats. But all of this was created using Supercool with one simple prompt, with no context, no other information. And so that's what Supercool is powerful about doing, creating assets. So here is me asking it a new service I launched the other day is appcpr.dev, which is for people that can't finish their app. They're just done. They've got to the point as far as they can go, and now they want to basically just get it done. And so going through a few iterations, it created the logo. And again, my first prompt was, please create an app logo 1-to-1 ratio for appcpr.dev. No information about what that is. It went off. It did its research. This is the first version. Pretty impressive, but we've kind of settled on this last version here as what we're going to be using. Here is the corner of the certificate. I had it create. We wanted that certified seal on the certificate, and I basically grabbed one off the web. Now, I don't like stealing people's images, and I also don't like paying Shutterstock for an image. And I think that what it created is 20 times better than what I had given it. And again, all I had told it was, please create a badge like this. No major big prompt. It went off. It did its research of what does a badge like that need. It needs to look like it's melted in gold wax. It needs to have lots of stars on it. This only had a few stars. They went overboard with the stars, and it created something really spectacular. And so I think that's everything. Oh, this one's kind of cool. So at Christmas, I launched a Chat with Santa, which is an app that allows you to chat with an AI Santa. And you basically pay for a phone call with Santa, and then when you're ready, you click on a link, and I needed a ringing sound for Santa's phone, so I had it create that. That's his ringing sound. It's just jingle bells, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there we go. That's super cool. And then Famous, which is my main work in the ecosystem, is an app builder. It will build mobile, web, and crypto apps, although I don't know anyone that's actually created a crypto app on it. So mainly people focus on web and mobile. And with that, you can create some pretty magic stuff. And I've personally been responsible in the last 10 months of working with Famous for about 200 web and mobile apps from various stages to getting them finished. And it's a very powerful system to do that. Okay, so I think that answers your question, Michelle. Those are the three things. They come under the Famous Labs brand. And Famous Labs is definitely growing. It's here to stay. They just got their first round of pre-funding, which is pretty cool, because that means these systems are just going to be getting better and better over the coming year or so. And I love it. All right. Mansa asked a question. One feature that sets Famous apart that doesn't typically get talked about is the building crypto. Okay, I just slagged off crypto and Web3 sites. Will there be training on that at some point? I'm going to be very honest here, and I probably will regret being honest. But again, for my OGs in the room, you know that I don't have a filter in the things I say. I'm not going to be able to create training on crypto and Web3. And the reason for that is I just don't understand it. I was way too late getting into Bitcoin and everything else. And so until I understand it, I'm not going to be able to create training videos and so forth on it. So, yeah, that's that. Rich Lead Falcon. Lead Falcon is a app that I really don't know very much about. Other than it is an AI powered system that captures leads and looks for leads, but I do have a Lead Falcon account, but I do need to use it more, and I don't know really much about its features. And so my answer to that is I'm a Famous.AI expert and definitely not Lead Falcon deal. Super cool. I know enough to just kind of get by in those areas. How would you get more info about Lead Falcon? I would suggest the first thing to do would go to leadfalcon.com and book a demo. There you go. That's what I would do. I would go to leadfalcon.com and book a demo. Or read all this information and the FAQs and so forth. But yeah, book a demo. How do you book a demo? There we go. There's one available at 4 o'clock. So in 4 hours time, there's one available for today, and it's a 60-minute demo on Lead Falcon. So go and grab that, and then come back next week and tell me all about it. You can let me know what you find out. Okay, thanks for answering the question though. I appreciate your honesty. You're welcome. All right, did I catch up with everybody? I did. Cool. All right. We've got 10 minutes left. Who has that last burning question for us? I keep running into issues with Famous when attempting to complete an app that works as wanted. Any suggestions for getting the best out of Famous? Yes, if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, do that. Because in my YouTube channel, there are really great and helpful videos. But the main video that I want you to look at, if you're running into issues with Famous understanding you or doing what you asked, then the main video you need to be looking at is this one here. The stop wasting your time with bad prompts.
Imagine being able...
No, shush. This is called the 3-step prompt process. I was about to say Janelle will probably put the link in the chat, but she beat me to it. Janelle has just put the link in the chat, and I would suggest that what's interesting is all of the other people. Base 44 is the big one. Replit have started putting ads on my videos, which I love. I take that as a compliment. But every video of my own that I've watched recently have been piled with competition. So I need to talk to Alex and get him to think about sponsoring the channel so that we can get rid of the competitors' ads. It's very interesting. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Oh, the 3-step prompt process. If you are having troubles with getting Famous to understand, I would do this. Watch that video before you start prompting, and then every time you have a prompt session, do the same thing. Watch that video before you start. It will drum into you the importance of the 3-step process. What did I do? What happened when I did it? And what did I expect to happen? Those 3 steps are imperative in every single prompt that you send. All right, awesome. Danny, nice to see you. I'm going to watch it as soon as we're finished. Awesome, Brian. Put it on repeat. Or while you're brushing your teeth. It's a 4-minute video. You'll have the healthiest teeth ever if you watch this every time you brush your teeth. Get a waterproof screen for your shower, and exactly, rinse, wash, repeat. Good. Right, I think I missed something. What is my opinion on resend? Mailgun, resend, SendGrid. They're mailing services, and you know, they're all as good as each other. I like Mailgun. I've used it for hundreds of years, and that's what I use. There's you know, if you find one that you like, and they all integrate well with AI app builders. They all understand what each of them do. They all have APIs. They all have SMTP gateways. They all work with Supabase. So I have no opinions on which one is best. But yeah, there we go. Janelle has put some links in the chat. She's put my Trustpilot link. If you find my stuff helpful, please go to Trustpilot, give me a review. If you don't find my stuff helpful, message me privately and tell me what I'm doing wrong or how I can be better. Don't put that on Trustpilot. I would like to just improve for you rather than have a bad review for something that I could have done better. What else? She's also put the 3-step prompt process in there, which is great. The done with you link. So if you want some time with me, you can book me on that. My calendar is kind of booked out. And so you may find that Janelle has time earlier. Janelle's awesome. She has a different accent to me, so if you don't like the British accent and you prefer a New Zealand accent, then Janelle is also available for done with you calls as well. It's all booked for that same link that's on there. No worries, Brian. I love what I do and I love helping people, so I appreciate your kind words. Thank you. Well, we will leave it at that unless anyone's got a 1-minute question they would like to quickly throw in the box. If not, Monday is the AI App Builders Club webinar for club members. Go ahead and be there. Janelle, you're amazing. Janelle's just put the events list there, which has all of my webinars. So the next one is for club members on Monday. Then we've got the mega webinar on Wednesday, and then back to this webinar at 12 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And love to see you there. Just register. When you register for one of them, when you register for Wednesday, you'll get reminded for all the Wednesdays. When you register for Friday, you'll get reminded for all the Fridays. If you're a club member, you get reminded in the Discord channel. So there we are. All right. Well, guys, have an amazing weekend. It's going to be awesome. And I will see you next week. Go make some amazing projects in Famous and let me know where you get stuck. Awesome, guys. See you next week.